This guy retired at age 30 after only 8 years of working. And he did it using 9 secret techniques that honestly anyone can use. But before we get into the list, we gotta ask, what kind of a life lets you retire after only 8 short years of working? Mr. Money Mustache, aka Pete Aney, was an engineer who lived in Longmont, Colorado. And this particular city, foreshadowing for later. And yes, being an engineer helped him save money, but even a high income means nothing if you don't do this first: getting rid of your debt. Pay down your debt as if your hair is on fire is one of Pete's most famous quotes. And honestly, this shit hits. Cause the average broad-based low-cost index fund portfolio returns about 8% a year. But some debts charge 20 to 30% interest every single month. It's like trying to scoop water back into your bucket with a teaspoon while the side of your bucket has a whole ass basketball-sized crater. Like this video if this analogy made you smile. Now, having a debt doesn't automatically mean no investing for you. It just means that, looking at the interest rate first is what Pete recommends. If your interest rate is around 5% or lower, like mortgages or student loans, it usually still makes sense to invest because your 8% return rate can outpace your 5% cost. But if your debt is higher than 5%, pay it down like your hair is indeed on fire. This includes credit cards and payday loans, aka the demonic leeches of the money world. But you know what? Once you plug those holes in your money bucket, you're ready for his biggest key to retiring at age 30: a very high savings rate. Pete recommends a minimum of 50% savings rate because you know what? Your savings rate literally can determine how many working years you have left. And in his famous blog post, The Shockingly Simple Math Behind Early Retirement, he showed that some people are actually 5 to 6 years away from FI without even realizing it. And Pete, personally, hits a 66% savings rate and lived on around $35,000 in today's dollars. That means he was making a roughly $58,000 a year, and his FI number using the 4.7% rule was roughly around $744,800. Bro, you don't know how many takes it took for me to say those numbers, okay? We're keeping this one because your girl's struggling too much. So we're keeping it for content. You might be like, okay, Ash, noted. High savings rate. But wait, how can I hit a savings rate that high? Don't worry, the next 7 secrets make it possible. And let's start with the holy saving trinity of this channel, starting with housing. Pete recommends moving to a cheaper city. For example, another person called Bridget Casey, who is the host of one of my favorite personal finance podcasts, credits that living in Calgary, Alberta, as one of the biggest reasons why she was able to hit FI in her 30s. And lower cost of living cities lowers housing, food, transportation, and sometimes even taxes. But you know what? I gotta be honest, because Bridget says that the only downside for living in Calgary is the very long and very depressing winters. And also the heating bill, which, you know what? Obviously doesn't help with the depression. If you're liking this video so far, subscribe, because I'm making a 3-part series that highlights some of the real-life examples of how people were able to retire early. Next week, I'm covering how a young girlie living in Seattle, Washington was able to retire at 30 with just $500K. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video, okay? Now, let's get back to talking about housing costs. Hold up, Ash. Didn't you just say that Pete lived in Longmont, Colorado? Which is not cheap. And you know what? You're right. So how did he pull it off? Hold your horses, because the next 2 secrets explain exactly how he did that. Pete lived really close to work, like really close. That really reduced his commuting costs to basically zero. And I don't think the man even owned a car. Like, he also biked everywhere. Like errands, a bike. Groceries, bike. Eat, pray, love, probably bike. He called bikes the OG mode of transport because they're cheap, they're fast, and they keep you healthy. But now if you're like, wait, Ash, I work downtown and everything is expensive. Please help. Okay, so here are 2 tips to help you guys out. First is to rent a smaller place like a studio apartment and share it with some roommates. And second is to ask for a hybrid or remote work opportunity. And you know what? If those 2 doesn't work, that's okay. The FI journey is all about stacking what does work in your specific situation. Like Mr. Money Mustache also didn't live in a cheap city like he recommends, but he uses all the other tips in this video. So our next 2 tips, anyone can use. First one is cancel TV services. You know what? Pete originally talked about cable TV, but I think today's arch nemesis is subscriptions.
Hi, young boy.
And honestly, I think they're much worse. And this is because of 2 reasons. First one is each subscription is tiny. Like, oh, Netflix is only $10. Oh, Love and Deep Space membership is only $5. But okay, how many of these only $5 are hiding in your monthly statement, my sweet child? And number 2, these are always reoccurring and they keep charging you until you opt out. And once you've slain your subscriptions, look at your other monster of the month: expensive cell phone plans. I've had friends paying for $60 to $80 a month for their phone bill. And I'm like, honey boo, what kind of ancient dragon loot are you farming for? Why is it so expensive? Thank you, Sassy Ash. Let me answer that. There are 2 reasons. The first reason could be that their plan includes a free new phone. Spoiler, it's not free. And second one, you know what? Usually plans give you way too much data. Like they give you 30, 50, even 100 gigabytes of data a month. And you know what? I petition that they all be criminally tried for exploiting ignorance. On the other hand, Pete only pays $20 to $30 a month. And Brad Barrett, the host of the podcast Choose FI, pays $18 using a prepaid plan. And personally, I pay around $28 with Freedom Mobile. And this is because 1, I bring my own phone. 2, I keep my mobile streaming very low. And 3, I never stream video or download big files without Wi-Fi. And 4, I don't know if it's 4, I think it's 4, I do not game outside. Like, Mabu, why you be playing Love in Deep Space on the freaking bus? Please, keep your spicy, shirtless man off public property. Please and thank you in advance. Now, let's hit the final pillar of the saving trinity: food. And this is how Pete keeps his cost at $3 per person per meal. Wait, how is this possible? Well, he barely eats out, and he keeps a consistent grocery list, and he has a list of 13 items that he buys regularly. And this actually makes his grocery bill cost super predictable. And I will split his grocery up into carbs, vegetables, fruits, protein, and condiments. Pete also challenges the idea that protein has to come from meat. And you know what? Meat is usually the category that regularly blows people's grocery bill out of the water. So he actually gets protein from 3 eggs a day, beans and legumes, cheese, protein shakes, which includes whey powder, milk, and yogurt, and of course the meat. But that comes at an extra. And his core tip is to look at your grocery list first. See what protein you already have, then decide if you need any extra. If you want to finish your FI journey in 10 to 15 years, here is a playlist of all the strategies you can use starting today. Okay, let's go. One strategy at a time. You'll get there. It might take a while, but if you have fun along the way, you might not even realize that you got there. All right, bye.